I'm Henry DeVries from Agency Rainmaker TV, the TV show where we help agency owners make it rain, how to fill up that pipeline with right fit prospects. And today I have, uh, we can't even say recovering agency owner, head of Agency Management Institute, Drew McLellan. Drew, how are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, we're excited to have you on the show because, in the words of Pamela Slim, the this a watering hole, a place where people go to get smarter. So I wanted to talk to you about the different offerings you have for agency owners on where they can get smarter about running their agency. So what do you got going on?
Well, I think on a daily or weekly basis, we put out a educational newsletter. We put out a weekly video which teaches a quick little 2, 3 minute piece. We've got a podcast every week, so you can get smarter for free in all of those ways. Probably when people think about AMI, one of the things that they think about is our Build a Better Agency Summit, which is a conference we hold every May here in Denver. And so that's not too early to register for that. Conferences, they get more expensive when you buy the ticket closer to the event. So if you think you're going to join us and you want to hang out with 400 other agency owners and leaders, now is a great time to get that ticket. But we also have some really great workshops coming up. So we teach all of our workshops here in Denver. We teach them live with one exception that I'll tell you about. So we have an advanced AE boot camp coming up in September at September 18th and 19th. And that's going to be focused on account executives, account managers, account strategists, whatever you call them, who have I'd say 4+ years of experience. They come in for 2 days, they learn from their peers, they learn from the instructors, and they walk away with a whole new set of skills and understanding about how important their job is to the agency and the agency's bottom line. For AEs that are younger in their career, we have a just what we call AE boot camp, so it's not advanced. That is October 16th and 17th, and that's going to be for the people who are just entering into the business or have a couple of years of experience and are sort of navigating their way to understanding the challenges of keeping clients happy, keeping the agency owner happy, keeping your internal team happy, and how do you do all of that while helping your clients grow their business. And then we have two workshops really built for agency owners and leaders. In September, we have talk about filling your pipeline. We have an agency workshop called Growing Your Existing Clients. So one thing many agencies struggle with, Henry, as you know, is how to grow the clients they already have. But 60 to 70% of their net new revenue every year should come from those existing clients. But we kind of wait for it to happen. We wait till they're going to have a new location or something else is going on. And we don't really have a program in place in our agency to help the account service team and everybody else, because it's not just the account service team, really grow that book of business. And so Danielle and I put together a workshop earlier this year, actually, for the first time. And it's 2 day intensive. It's a lot of how to build a program inside your agency to make sure you're growing those existing clients. And then the last workshop of the year for us is called Money Matters. So once you land those clients and they start paying you, how do you make more money and keep more of the money you make? And we talk all about the KPIs that help agency owners run a profitable business and build something that's scalable and hopefully down the road sellable. And that is October 23rd and 24th. So those are all our live workshops. And then if you make enough money and you build something scalable and sellable, we actually have a 1 day virtual workshop on October 15th called Sell Your Agency Without Regrets. And it helps you plan in advance all the things you need to do and have in place so that your agency is viable for a sale. So that's what we got going on. But other than that, not much.
Not much. That saleable is so important because I remember in Money Matters, Danielle, your partner, talking about that only 1 in 4 agencies that want to sell actually pull it off,
Right.
and why do 3 out of 4 not make it?
Because they've built a lifestyle business that's so dependent on the owner that, or they have one big client and a lot of little clients, and it's just not a viable purchase. The odds of a new owner being able to be successful long term aren't really great. But so part of what we teach in this 1 day workshop are all the things that matter to a buyer and how 10 years out, 5 years out, 3 years out, you can start fixing the things that aren't quite right that are going to turn a buyer off so that by the time you are ready to sell, the agency is packaged and ready to go and you can get a premium price for it. So the reason why, in a nutshell, agencies don't get sold is because the owner doesn't really have a plan in place far enough in advance to make sure the agency is ready to be bought.
Drew, what I like so much about your trainings is how pragmatic they are. In that workshop about seller agency one day, there's 11 different APIs that you can work on. You can scale yourself on points from 1 to 5, and you can prioritize and see where you need to work. I know it's just very practical, very pragmatic.
Yeah, thanks. It's fine and dandy to talk theory, but we're all busy agency owners and we have to sort of cut to the chase and give me tools I can use today and I can use tomorrow. That's really the sort of the focus of AMI. We know most agency owners are accidental business owners. They're great at serving the clients and doing all that client facing stuff. But when it comes to running the business of the business in a profitable way, it's probably not what they went to school for. And so what we want to do is arm them with very pragmatic, easy to understand basics of if they sort of do that blocking and tackling every day, they're going to have an agency that's dropping 20% to the bottom line year over year, that's growing, that's healthy, and if they want to someday is something they could sell.
I've said it in print, your money matters is the best training I've ever seen on that. That it's filled with 2 days of very pragmatic steps and also, what do we say, prevention for things that could go wrong, that could cause the extinction of the agency if not watched. So
Yeah, you're right.
that's
It's
coming up in
there's a
October.
lot of risk in owning an agency and you've put your house on the line, you've put your family at risk and so you want it to be profitable and you want it to be something that's super sustainable. We're in a moment of economic turmoil right now and we've all, if you've been an agency owner for any period of time, not your first and probably won't be your last, but when you follow these sort of best practices, it allows you to sort of weather those storms without having to do big layoffs or not pay yourself or do all the things that agency owners do when they haven't sort of built a foundation that allows them to kind of ride the wave of the ebb and flow of agency life. Even in a good year, there's ebb and flow. And so we have to be able to manage all that.
In my article in the California Business Journal about BABA this year, I noted that there was a lot of weariness among the agency owners in this year of uncertainty and what's happening,
Yeah.
and so part of it of that money matters is how to take the right steps. So thank you for that. Anything else you wanted to add, Drew, before we come to a close?
No, we've got a lot of free resources on the website. Like I said, we have a weekly newsletter, we have a weekly video, we have a weekly podcast. We do 2 free webinars the first and third Tuesday of every month. So even if you're not ready to jump into a workshop or something like that, there's still a lot of resources. We do research every year. You can download the executive summary for that. So there's a lot of great resources there. And we hope that every agency owner all over the globe takes advantage of them. And if they want to show up at a workshop or the conference, we'd love to have them. But if not, please, please, please take advantage of all of the free content that's out there.
You certainly practice what you preach about being relentlessly helpful in your book, Sell with Authority. And you've positioned yourself as that authority by giving it away. I love your analogy of, if a deer came into your yard, would you go chase it with some food, or would you just wait and be generous and offer the food and then form the relationship? So great metaphor on that. Thank you, Drew, so much for being with us today. And until next time, everyone, make it rain.